Hey guys, it's Mr. Creepy Man back again with some more Division stuff. Alright, so today we are going to be talking about grenades and consumables. So we'll start off with the grenades. I'm just going to go over which ones they are and talk about what I think about them. So the first one is the EMP grenade. So EMP grenade also applies disrupt, which will destroy any active skills caught in the blast. EMP grenades also prevent the affected enemies from deploying new skills for a period of time. I personally don't use them too much. I have found a lot of really good scenarios to use them, like in the new Falcon Lost Incursion, when there's a ridiculous amount of heal bots out. You just toss the EMP grenade out, kills those up right quick, so you don't have to worry about the guys healing up too much. So the next one is the flashbang grenade. Flashbang grenades deal blind/deaf, which will temporarily impair the vision and hearing of an enemy caught in the blast. Personally, I almost never use these, just because I run flashbang sticky bomb, so it essentially does the exact same thing, and I don't have to worry about it using consumables. So that's just me, though. Fragmentation grenades. This is typically like your normal one of your normal damage dealing grenades. Toss it out, deals a whole bunch of burst damage, and applies bleed. Normally, a lot of the times, the only time I'll use this is if I'm running Dark Zone and I get into a firefight with rogues. Chuck a bunch of these out, helps deal damage. Easy peasy. The incendiary grenades. These ones are some of my favorite. Releases fire on detonation. The fire has a chance to apply burn to any enemy caught in the blast and will drain their health bar over time. The other thing that's really nice about this is when people are on fire, you can't reload, you cannot use skills, stuff like that. You have to put out the fire first. So it is another form of CC, but it also helps deal damage as well. So there's a lot of times I'll use them in certain incursions, chuck these out, light people on fire, staggers all the enemies, burn the enemies down. Simple and fun. Shock grenades essentially do the same thing. It doesn't do as much damage. It temporarily paralyzes them and electrocutes them. Again, it's another form of like damage dealing CC grenades. And the last grenade is the tear gas grenade. So it applies disoriented, which temporarily impairs the vision as well as accuracy of any enemy caught in the blast. These ones are a lot better for incursion or like running PvE missions, stuff like that, just because a lot of players being disoriented doesn't really affect them too much if they're a good player. You can still land your shots, stuff like that. It does make it more difficult, but it's not as I guess deterring as some of the other stuff like being lit on fire or being shocked, which is pretty much a hard CC. So now moving on to like actual consumables. So the first one I'll talk about is explosive bullets. When used, explosive bullets have a chance to deal area of effect damage. Now, the thing that is ridiculous about these, certain snipers, it will proc off every single shot, and it deals a ridiculous amount of damage. My brother usually runs it, and he's had times where he has downed 3 rogues that are grouped together enough by shooting one of them because the explosive damage splits off and hits them all. They are pure and utter shenanigans if you're using them with the right guns. The next one is the incendiary bullets. When used, incendiary bullets have a chance to light the target on fire. Same thing. I usually use them with my SMG. Pop those guys, pull out your SMG, just shoot the shit out of people, light them on fire, which adds the fire status effect, and then they're pretty much useless for a couple of seconds while they have to sit there and put out the fire. It's just fun. The next one is going into like the actual consumables. These ones give you passive buffs on use. A lot of the times on PC, you're probably going to want to re-keybind these because I know the base keybinds are a little awkward. So, Soda. Soda reduces the cooldown on all skills by 30%. The effect lasts 30 seconds. This one's not too bad. The main thing with this though is if you're running a build that requires like low cooldowns and stuff like that, you're 9 times out of 10 likely to take triage, which pretty much instantly reduces your cooldowns anyways. But I can see where this would be useful. I guess in like a tank build, something like that, to help pop like your ballistic shield better if you're running that stuff like that. The next one is water. Water is probably one of the most useful that I could think of, just because it increases all damage dealt to elite enemies by 20%. Having a problem with a boss, something like that, pop your incendiary ammo, pop your water, you're dealing bonus damage, and you're lighting people on fire. Next up in the list is the Energy Bar. Energy Bar instantly removes all negative status effects on the player and protects the player from all status effects for 5 seconds. This one, it's interesting. When I originally looked at it, I figured it would probably be good for like the Dark Zone and stuff like that, not having to worry about people being able to blind or light you on fire. But 9 times out of 10 rogue fights, it's pretty much just a shooting contest as to who's got better stats on their gun. So it like I understand what the use for it would be if Dark Zone and stuff like that became more tactical. But currently, Dark Zone, these are more or less useless. And then in terms of PvE, there's some situations where they're useful, but a lot of times, like as I said, Disorient doesn't really deter you too much. There are some times in the Falcon Lost Incursion where they'd be helpful if the blue drones get through and you do end up getting stun locked by the static. It would help there, but that's pretty much the only place that I could think of currently. And last but not least is canned food. Canned food increases healing effects on players by 40%. This one would be really nice. Basically, again, it says it increases the healing that you take. The main problem with this, though, is a lot of players now, if you're running Electronics healing build, your heal will be healing for a stupid amount anyways. So essentially, it just auto full heals. If you're running your own solo, it might help just so you can, like if you get low, pop a med kit and it just heals you for that much more. But the only one that I can see that is like overly useful in terms of just like the main consumables other than the bullets would be water, just for the extra damage. Yeah, and that's the consumables. If you have any comments or questions or anything like that, please feel free to comment below and let me know what you think. Hope to see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.